Hello folks, welcome back to the channel. This is American Hussar Gaming and I am Hussar. Today I want to show you the ultimate pug tank. If you're tired of always having to queue as a fake tank or tired of being queued with a fake tank, then this is the build for you. It's got two easy sets to get and a selection of helmets that are not terrible to farm. So let's dive into the build immediately. First up, character. We are an orc. Why am I an orc? Because I like the extra stamina bonus I get. I do a lot of roll dodging and a lot of running because I hate going slow, and orc gives me all of the bonuses to be able to do that. If you want a little bit more health, well, first of all, the attributes I've got here are with only a food buff active. They'll go up as you use different potions. We're not doing a lot of damage because we're a tank. We're just interested in our resistances, which you can see are almost 22,000, and our max health, which is almost 44,000. You can get that up closer to 50,000 if you put every single point you want into health, but I'm not going to do that. Like I said, I want the stamina, so I put a few more points into stamina so I can roll dodge and run around a little bit more. Alternate races. If you want to get a little bit more meta, you're going to want to go with either a Nord. Nords have great racial passives. If you want to get a little more meta, you want to go with a Nord or an Imperial. Nords have a couple of great passives that lend themselves to tanking, one of which is the rugged passive trait, which increases your physical and spell resistance by 2,600. They also have resist frost, which gives you 4,620 frost resistance, but another 1,000 max health. The other meta race are Imperials, because you get both. Their tough passive gives you a 2,000 increase to your health. Their Imperial Metal passive gives you 2,000 to your max stamina, and the Red Diamond passive decreases the cost of all of your abilities by 6%. All of which are great to have as a tank. For the Mundus, I picked the Ritual because of the Healing Done bonus, which will feed into one of the sets I'm using. And the food I'm using is generic purple food that you get from the Crown Store, or Withered Tree and a venison pot roast, which is the same thing, or longfin pasty with melon sauce, which is exactly the same thing as the previous food and the purple food from the Crown Store. The first set that I'm going to use is Winter's Respite. This is an overland set from Western Skyrim. We are after the 5th ability there, which is casting abilities that leave an effect on the ground will give you a big healing aura for you and the group. I use Sword and Board for the defensive passes you get from it. Main hand is defending, the offhand is Nirnhone for the physical and spell resistance. On the backup hand, I use a Crusher enchantment infused so I can debuff the enemy, and the infused boosts that debuff. Offhand shield is also Nirnhone. On the jewelry, it's also Winter's Respite with spell damage, a bracing enchantment, and a reduced prismatic cost enchantment in order to help my sustain. The second 5-piece set is the Leeching Plate set. This comes out of Imperial City Prison. We are after not only the 4% healing taken for a 3-item set, and also the 5th item bonus, which is when you take damage, you summon a cloud of leeching poison under you. The cloud deals 1374 poison damage every second for 5 seconds and heals you for 100% of the damage caused, and can occur once every 5 seconds and scales off your max health. So there's essentially no downtime on it. The main monster set I use for my pug setup is Lord Warden. Lord Warden is the monster helm that comes out of Imperial City Prison as well. I get it for the second bonus here, which increases the physical and spell resistance of myself and everybody within 8 meters of me. It can occur once every 10 seconds. You can tell it procs when you summon a blue orb that floats slowly around you. Other sets you can get. Ice Heart. Ice Heart comes out of Dire Frost Keep. You want that because when you deal critical damage, it gives you a damage shield, which heals you and deals frost damage to enemies in front of you. Sentinel of Archegams. Sentinel of Archegams comes out of Darkshade Caverns 1. Bloodspawn is the other set is another good set you can use, because when you take damage, it gives you 6% to generate 13 ultimate and increase your physical and spell resistance by 3601 for 5 seconds, which can occur once every 5 seconds. So effectively, there is no downtime to that bonus. And finally, Chokethorn. Chokethorn is a set that comes out of Elden Hollow 1. You want to use this one whenever you use a heal ability, which is either Vigor or your Caustic Blood skill, you have a 33% chance to summon a Strangler sapling that heals you or an ally for 16,310. So it's a gigantic big heal for over 6 seconds with a 4-second cooldown, since it happens once every 10 seconds. It scales at the highest of your max magicka or max stamina. So if you use this, you want to make sure you have a few more points put into stamina to help boost that heal. Next up are skills. Primary skills: Pierce Armor, one of your main taunts. This comes out of the sword and the Pierce Armor comes out of the Sword and Shield skill line. Igneous Shield, you can spam this for a damage shield that protects you, and for 3707 protects nearby allies. And I think it affects up to 3 or 4. But also you get Major Mending, which increases your healing done by 16% for 3 seconds. Caltrops. I use Razor Caltrops because it reduces the movement speed and applies Major Breach to them, which reduces their physical and spell resistance by 5948 for 4.1 seconds. Which, 4.1 seconds, why would anybody pick such a weird fragment? Burning Talons. It technically says it calls it from the ground, but it doesn't count as a ground cast ability, and it won't proc your Winter's Respite. But you use it for crowd control, so when you're in hordes of mobs, you can pin them in place so that people can burn them down with your other teammates can burn them down with their AoEs. And finally, Unrelenting Grip, which is your chain to chain things in. It does a little bit of fire damage. I like to be the downstairs tank in Cloud Rest, and I use this a lot of times. I'll hit Zamaja with it in order to help boost my speed to get to her faster. Then, Shield Discipline is your main ultimate on the front bar. This only costs 135 ultimate, so it comes back really fast, and you can block everything for 8 seconds. Your one-hand and shield abilities cost nothing while this effect persists, which is a great side bonus. I use it mainly if I'm in a position where I, the tank, have to res somebody. We're in a really bad spot. But I can res people with it really fast based on the other champion point passives I take. On your back bar, the first spot here I use as a flex spot. I generally put Sanguine Altar in there. It is also a ground cast ability, so it will proc your Winter's Respite when you cast it. You lose a little bit of health to do it, but it also is a major heal for people around you, and it's a synergy people can access if they need a boost heal. The second skill is Ring of Preservation. You brand the earth in your location with a Rune of Protection for 10 seconds, which gives you and your allies in the area minor protection and minor endurance, reducing their damage taken by 5% and increasing their stam recovery by 15%. You're also healed for 1166 health for every 1 second for 10 seconds, so that's a little over 12,000 healing, 12 or 13,000 healing for 10 seconds. Next skill is your Green Dragon Blood, your main burst heal. You can draw on your Draconic Blood to heal you for 40% of your missing health. It also gains you major Fortitude, major Endurance, and minor Vitality, increasing your health recovery and stamina recovery by a whopping 30%, and your healing received by 8%. You also gain major Fortitude, major Endurance, and minor Vitality, increasing your health recovery and stam recovery by 30%, and healing received by 8% for 23 seconds. Inner Rage is the next skill. It's my primary taunt. Inner Rage also has a synergy which your other teammates can use to deal magic damage, and then additional magic damage to them and other nearby enemies. But it's mainly there for the taunt, which will taunt them for 15 seconds. I use this in place of my Pierce Armor, which is on the front bar here and right there in the main spot. While that is a taunt for 15 seconds, it's also there for the minor. I use it mainly for the minor breach and the major breach. Finally, Echoing Vigor, which comes out of the Assault skill, which you get from Cyrodiil. You get a big bonus of almost 14,000 health over 16 seconds whenever you use it. And Backup, Aggressive Warhorn, which gives you and your allies major force, which increases their critical damage by 20% for 10 seconds. It also increases your group's max magicka and max stamina by 10% for 30 seconds. You can also put, if you want, you need a little more firepower, you can put Standard of Might there, which increases the damage done and reduces my damage taken by 15%, and then also gives us a Shackle synergy when ally can activate. Or Magma Shell, which limits incoming damage to you and does flame damage back. It also gives nearby allies a damage shield for 100% of their max health for 12 seconds. Champion points. For the green tree. For the green tree, I use Rationer to add the 10-minute bonus to any food or drink that I eat. Liquid efficiency boosts any potion that I'm going to use. This spot's kind of a flex spot. I slotted Homemaker because the last trial I was doing was Sunspire, and I was trying to loot all those containers on the way in a couple of different times, so hopefully I would get a better draw from RNGesus by slotting this. A lot of times I will just have Gifted Rider slotted because I fucking hate to go slow. And this is my crafter, so meticulous assembly, disassembly is always slotted, so I can get the max amount of materials decon from whatever I'm deconning. Blue tree, focused mending. This feeds into your leeching plate and your winter's respite. It boosts all the healing done. It increases all your healing done with your single target heals by 2% per stage, so that's another 10% healing done I get just by you slotting this. Biting Aura. It increases the damage done with my AoEs by 3% per stage. So that's my Burning Talon and my Leeching Plate and the frost damage that comes out of Winter's Respite. Thaumaturge to boost my dots. And finally, this is kind of a flex spot here. I slot in different things here based on the trial or the thing that I'm doing. A lot of times I'll just simply put Ironclad in here. Or Endless Endurance, if I just want some more max stamina. And the red tree. Bracing Anchor. I do a lot of blocking. It'll reduce my movement speed, but if I'm usually tanking something, so I'm not trying to go fast anyway. But I get that nice 4% block damage mitigated per stage, which gives me a total of 20% block mitigation. Ward Master. It reduces the damage taken by 2% per stage while blocking and under the effects of a damage shield. So this also boosts your igneous shield, which I get another 10% plus that bonus. Rejuvenation for the health, magic, and stamina recovery. And Boundless Vitality, which gives me 1,400 more max health. That's all I've got today, guys. Thanks, and I will see you soon. That's all I've got today, folks. Please like and subscribe and share to your friends. I need all the help I can get to help increase my channel. Thanks, guys. I will see you soon.